4th chapter. Either your Bibles or your iPads or your phone and all that good stuff. Yes. And we'll read it. Verse 35. Read a couple of verses. Verse 35. Mark 4:35. Say amen when you get there.
Amen.
It says, on the same day when evening had come, he said to them, let us cross over to the other side. Now when he had left the multitude, they took him along in the boats as he was, and the other boats were also with him. Somebody say this with me. And a great storm, windstorm,
And the great windstorm
arose. And the waves beat into the boat. Amen. So that it was already filled. I want you to keep your mind open to the fact that a great windstorm arose and the waves beat into the boat so that it was already filled. And if you will, just go over to the next chapter, chapter 5. Chapter 5, verse 1. I'm going to read just 5 verses. It says, then they came to the other side of the sea. This is their arrival. Amen. They were on the boats and they were going to the other side of the sea. They arrived, and this arrival begins in the book of the 5th chapter of Mark. Then they came to the other side of the sea, of the country of the Gadarenes. And when he had come out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with the unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs. And no one could bind him, not even with chains, because he had often been bound with shackles and chains. And the chains had been pulled apart by him, and the shackles broken in pieces, neither could anyone tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying out and cutting himself with stones. Amen? Amen. Amen. Tradition has it that the side of this mountain, where the tombs lay on the top of it, as in the country of the Gadarenes, was a very steep slope. On the side of this mountain. Now they're on the top of this mountain, where all this is where he is, where the tombs are. Is on the top of this mountain. And Jesus comes across with his disciples, and they're on the steep slope of the mountain. And so what's interesting is that the slope was so steep. It was so steep that if we was to continue to read in chapter 5, we would run into passages where there was a man that Jesus found that had the legion, many demons, and when Jesus cast them out, they wanted to go into a herd of swine. And when they went into the herd of swine, that the swine became so mad that it ran down the slope and drowned into the sea. My God. But it wasn't so much that these pigs or these swine, herds of swine, saw that there was water and they just ran in there and drowned themselves. It was the fact that the slope was so steep that when they came upon the water, they couldn't stop. Jesus. Wow. If I can just relate relay that to us or apply that to us, we get ourselves in so many types of situations. Our journeys of life, ripping and running so fast in the fast lives, that when we're going down the slopes, it becomes so steep that when it comes time to hit rock bottom, we smash dead in to rock bottom or into the seas where we're drowning in our stuff because we couldn't stop.
That's right.
It's not that I wanted to be there. I couldn't stop. It's not that I planned to drown myself in situations. I couldn't stop. I got myself in this problem, not because I wanted to be in the problem. I just couldn't stop.
My God.
I couldn't stop what I was doing. Drowning in alcoholism because I couldn't stop. Drowning in addictions because I can't stop. I didn't want to be an alcoholic. I didn't want to be an addict. I couldn't stop. I never wanted this to happen to me. I just couldn't stop. But there was even a lot more that he had to deal with, that this man had to deal with. But the Bible said that he also had to deal with an unclean spirit. An unclean spirit is a spirit that has been tainted. It's spotted. It's mixed. It's not pure. It's dirty. It's unclean. It's a filthy spirit. And what's interesting is that some folks look clean on the outside. Look like they're well put together on the outside.
That's right. That's right.
But on the inside, their spirit is unclean.
Wow.
It's mixed. It's mixed. We talked about it a while ago when we was talking about the Samaritans. Jesus had talked about a Samaritan and compared a Samaritan to a priest and a Levite. He even had a conversation with a Samaritan woman at a well. And where Jews wouldn't call Samaritans unclean people, because originally they were Jews. But after their transition and their failures and their temptations and their afflictions, some Jews had become parted ways and began to intermingle with other cultures. And began to intermingle and become married with other cultures. And they didn't give up their religion. They just mixed it with others.
Uh-oh.
And so when